Guten Tag, ladies and gentlemen. German name 1990 here once again. Happy St. Patrick's Day. In honor, I thought I'd show you a pricing game that can be played on The Price is Right. So as many of you well know, there are some pricing games that offer a magnificent trip. Some games offer cold, hard cash. And some games offer a brand new car. But what if there was one pricing game that could offer a car, some cash, and a trip? Or maybe even you can win all three of these prizes. Well, it's all possible on the pricing game Radical Rainbow. This is a pricing game that I came up with myself. In Radical Rainbow, you can not only win a car, some cash, and a trip, but maybe all three prizes on a spin of the wheel. But you don't get any spins for free. You have to earn them by playing a game of true or false. Now, there are many pricing games that have used a higher or lower concept. However, there is only one pricing game that uses a true or false segment. And that pricing game is 5 price tags. So I figured there could be some more pricing games with the true or false element. So here you have 5 items shown, each with a price given. You have to determine whether the price given is true or if it's a different price. So let's go to item letter I. The price given is $230. I'm going to say that that's the correct price. That's true. So let's see if it is true. It's true. Now let's go to item letter T. The price given is $150. Is that true or false? I am going to say that's also true. So let's see if it is. No, it is false. All right, so now we go to item letter E. The price given is $100. Is that true or false? I'm going to say that is false. I'm correct. It's false. So, I got these 2 chips so far. I can win up to 2 more. Now, item letter M, that's a price given of $200. Is that true or false? I'm going to say that's false. I'm correct. It's false. Now, the final one, item letter S, has a price given of $125. Is that true or false? I am going to say that's false. Is it? No, it is true. So nevertheless, I still have these 3 items. I can keep them, or I can turn them in. I can turn one of them in for a spin of the wheel. Now, let's say I got all 5 items wrong. If I got all 5 items wrong, the game is over and I win nothing. That is just one of the 2 ways that I can walk away from the game empty-handed. And of course, if I got all 5 items incorrect, this happens. Thankfully, that did not happen. I still got 3 items. If I decide that I want to try and go for more, I can gamble one of these items for a chance at winning it all. Now, I don't have to turn in the most expensive item. I can turn in any chip that I want. So, I know this may be more expensive than this, but I'm not really too concerned about having the item that's worth $175. But if I'm afraid that I'm going to win nothing, I can keep all 3 of these items that I have and just sit back down and the game is over just like that. But I don't really care too much about the $175 item, so I'm going to turn that in for a spin of the wheel. So let's do it. Let's see if I can win it all. So as you can see, I landed on the car. So I'm given a token for the car. So with that being said, I can take the car and these 2 items, and I can sit right back down, the game is over just like that, or I can give back the car and try for a better prize, maybe some cash, maybe the trip seems more appealing to me, or I would like to win all of the prizes. So let's say I don't want to sit back down. I want to see if I can win everything. So I'm going to give back the car token. But since I'm giving back this token, I am not giving back either of these 2 tokens. If I win a large prize token, I have to give this up. Before I give up the other 2. So I'm going to give back the car, and I'm going to see if I can win something. Okay, so I just landed on nothing. So, since I won nothing, since I gave back the car and got nothing as a result, I have a choice to make. I can cut my losses and take these 2 items and sit down. Let's say if I give this back, win nothing, and land on nothing. And then I decide to give this back, and I land on nothing. Well, I gave away my last chip for a shot at winning it all, and unfortunately, I landed on nothing on my last spin. If that were to happen, this were to happen. And I go back to my seat empty-handed. That's the other way I can walk away from this game without winning anything at all. But let's say I can try again. I'm going to give away this item. The 85 is more appealing than the 175 item, but not as appealing as the $230 item. So let's see if I can win it all this time. And look at that. I won it all. And here's what that means. I not only win the car, the cash, and the trip, but all 5 items from the true or false segment. And because I won it all, this happens. and I go back to my seat with some fantastic prizes and a lot to smile about. So anyway, how did I come up with the game Radical Rainbow anyway? Well, my love for game show wheels, such as the one used in The Price is Right's Showcase Showdown, inspired me to create this game. I figured, what if we could have a pricing game that's not used in the Showcase Showdown? It does incorporate a wheel, and that could be used. But recently I've also been thinking about the concept of a pricing game that could offer a car, a cash, or a trip, or maybe even all three of these prizes. So, yeah, that was the idea for Radical Rainbow. Now, why did I name it as such? Well, there's a word, ROD, R-A-D, not R-O-D, but R-A-D. ROD means wheel in German and in Dutch. So I decided to take that, and I decided to name and say, well, how radical would it be if we got all of these prizes? So initially the game was simply titled Radical. But last year I decided to do a redesign, and with that, a few rule changes, and even a new name. I decided to rename the game Radical Rainbow. Now, I remember making illustrations for Radical way back in June of 2010, but 14 years later, I decided I want to redesign it and do a few things here and there. The reason for the redesign was I was planning on commissioning someone at Etsy to make 3D printed versions of my pricing game. You can also find her at Facebook. She is known at Facebook as Making Games, M-A-K''N Games. And you can also find her at Etsy. I will provide a link to her Facebook page and her Etsy page. So last year I commissioned her to make these games, and I provided the graphics. She 3D printed everything, the labels, the podium, the wheel, the tokens, everything. And we weren't sure if this was going to work out, but fortunately we found ways to make it happen. And I'm very happy and I'm very grateful for her making this. So I'm very happy for her. This is really something I can definitely play in the comfort of my own home. This was a fantastic custom-made commission, and I'm very, very happy with her. I'm very happy that we were able to pull it off. There were a lot of hurdles we had to jump over. She certainly had to jump over more than I did because, she didn't know the game like I did. So, but, among other reasons and among other hurdles. But despite everything, we were able to pull it off, and I'm very, very happy with how everything turned out. So, huge, huge, huge thanks to her. Now, The Price is Right. If you're looking for fans to come up with their own pricing game, this would be my idea. This would be my concept. Have a game where you can spin a wheel, where it's not in the Showcase Showdown, and it's also a game that can offer a car, a cash, and a trip. All three of those fantastic prizes that are individually given away in one pricing game or another, but all three can be offered in one game. And then, of course, you have the true or false segment, not higher or lower. I think we're overdue for another game that uses a true or false concept rather than a higher or lower one. So if The Price is Right is looking for fans to come up with their own pricing game, this is my idea. So if you liked what you saw, please leave a like, drop a comment, hit that red subscribe button, Ring the bell to turn on notifications. And please be sure to check me out at Instagram and DeviantArt. My username is the same over at those two sites. So with that being said, I thank you very, very much for watching. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Auf Wiedersehen.